Hi, this is cybersecurity expert Reginald Andre, and oh my gosh, Microsoft just flexed its muscles. Have you ever seen one of those movies where you have like the military and there's like a shootout happening, and like the main character, he's only got like 10 bullets left, and he calls on the radio and says, I only got 10 bullets left, and I need you to send the cavalry, send everything you got. And in Hollywood dramatic fashion, you see the airplanes do a U-turn, the helicopters, the Humvees start going towards that direction, and in a dramatic fashion, they're starting to come with all of the power, and they just liberate the enemy, and the enemy is gone, and that main character who only had 10 bullets left in less than 2 minutes, everything is okay. Well, this is exactly what happened, but in technology. If you're not familiar with the SolarWinds Orion hack, you can look at our other videos where it talks about exactly what happened. I mean, this is basically the Super Bowl of hack. The U.S. government, the Treasury Department, the Pentagon, Fortune 100 companies. I mean, this is a huge, big deal. And in an extraordinary response, Microsoft, which I am so impressed by them, they use their speed, their scope, their legal team to basically stop this. And I'm going to be explaining what happened. So first off, again, this was talking about the SolarWinds and the Orion. And on December the 13th, when this became public, Microsoft essentially stopped the digital certificates that was happening. Now, I don't want to go too technical on this video. So a digital certificate, let's think of it as a key. And what SolarWinds Orion software was running on was a digital certificate, like a key, that basically said, hey, I'm good. I got the key, I opened the door, let me in. Well, Microsoft was able to see, okay, what digital certificate, what key was it using to go into our systems to allow this to happen? So Microsoft found that key and they basically stopped it. The second thing that Microsoft did on that same day is that they had their Windows Defender. So Microsoft, they're the most popular operating system in the world. Plus, this affected specifically Windows computers. And in each computer, especially if it's a Windows 10 computer, you have what is called Windows Defender. And Windows Defender is like a very basic, watered down firewall. It's like a last resort that Microsoft puts on the computer. And Microsoft essentially said to its Defender, hey, if you see this key that is coming into this computer, we want you to stop letting it in. So they basically put an additional layer of security and told its Windows Defender firewall, stop letting this bad guy come into the systems and block it. The next thing that Microsoft did was they did what is called a sinkhole. Now that's when their legal team came in and did an emergency court order. They went to court and they said, look, this is what's happening. The bad guy registered the domain, and the domain is avsvmcloud.com. They registered that domain with GoDaddy. And essentially, when this bad guy is reading all of these emails, the way he has to be able to read these emails is that he has to take the information that he has on the computer and he has to send it to a server. Now, what they did is they used a US domain company such as GoDaddy, because if that information was going to, let's just say, Russia or China or to Iran, that would have raised red flags. So what they did is they registered the domain with a US company. So that way it was right below the radar. Nobody was really paying attention because they're like, okay, this information is going to a US domain. It's on GoDaddy. It must be okay. So what Microsoft was able to do is to do an emergency injunction where they were able to take over that domain. And then from there, anybody that was sending the information to that domain that Microsoft now that Microsoft now owns and controls, Microsoft via the IP address is now able to say, okay, we know that this government agency or this company has this software and has this problem, and we're going to contact them to let them know, hey, you got to go check that out. And that's called sinkhole. And finally, this is what I love. It's a little controversial, but this is what I love what Microsoft did. And they basically, going back to that Windows Defender, they basically says, look, we're going to do a kill switch. If Windows Defender, and this is on December the 16th, if Windows Defender sees that this bad guy is in your system and he's using that key that we trusted before, kill the computer. And when I say kill the computer, I mean the person turning on their computer and it's no longer turning on. Because Microsoft said it is better for that computer to not be working and for the IT department to remove the SolarWinds Orion and any other malware that's on there than for it to keep on going. So this, again, just shows you that the Microsoft size and leadership that was given to them, because obviously Microsoft had to work with GoDaddy, they had to work with SolarWinds, they had to work with the government. And that is one thing I do like about my field in IT. We have a lot of competitors here in Miami and even across the US. And one of the things I love about IT is that it is a community. If one of my competitors, if he needs a part, if he's stumped on a question, we call each other. We have little Facebook groups and things like that, and we put our problems and people are helping each other. And in this case, this shows that everybody came together. They left their egos at the door and they said, look, Microsoft says, look, we have the resources. We have if we needed to, we can do this. And apparently the government gave the green light, the courts gave the green light, because this is a big, big deal. You have the so many agencies. Even today, it was announced that the agency that controls the electricity, the nuclear power of our country, the grids of our country was also compromised. So this was a big deal. So of course, the court said, you know what, Microsoft, do what you have to do. We'll deal with the ramifications, but we're giving you the blessings that it is okay to do this. And I am so proud of Microsoft for doing this. And I'm so proud of the IT community coming together, regardless of whose fault it is. They came together to figure out how do we just nip this in the butt, and we'll talk about what should have been done better. But right now we need to just stop it. And that's exactly what Microsoft did. So kudos to Microsoft on that. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe our video. We go live Monday through Friday talking about cybersecurity, talking about IT, talking about business technology. And I would love for you to continue watching our videos, and go ahead and like it if you like this video.